Can you hear me, Doc? Hi, good day. Can you hear me?
I can.
No? Talk. I'm hearing you.
I can't hear you now. I can't hear you now.
Yes,
Yes.
I am hearing you.
Okay. Me too.
Great. We are here again.
God is a good God.
All the time. Everything keeps and still is working together for the good. So
Absolutely.
timing, yes.
Hmm. Yep. It's all good.
Great. Excellent. So Deverton
Mhm.
is yes. So we are live. We are live. This is Conversations on Health. Welcome to another edition of Conversations on Health. And how are you today, Dr. Bastien?
I'm the best I can be.
Excellent. Happy to hear that.
What
So
about
today
you?
we are. I'm great. I'm great. I'm thankful that we have finally started with whatever technical hiccups we would have had, but we are here to have this conversation. Um, so as the promo video I would have sent out earlier, we spoke about the metabolic profile, how to make food your medicine. We spoke about some other related things with the microbiome and cyclonutrients. Today we are going to focus on mucus. What a very interesting topic. We're going to do mucus, the metabolic waste, and the microbiome. What is this next word, Dr. Bastien?
Mesenchyme.
Mesenchyme.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the mesenchyme. So let's start there.
Yes, we can start right there. And we give all the glory to God to make this program possible. And our Tobagonian people need that type of information. They need substance. Our Tobagonian people, they need science. They need science. They need truth. They need light. They need to be healthy. And strangely enough, when you read the Bible, it is clearly established that God Himself says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So apparently, there's a connection between death, disease, and knowledge. So apparently, we've been disconnected, and most of the things that we need to know, uh, we don't know where to find that information. And because of that, we have a lot of people that have nothing to do with medicine. They jump into the medicine bandwagon. Well, we're going to make multi-million dollars with that. And the pharmaceutical industry is doing the same thing. And people like us, the people in Tobago, they don't have to the best standard of care. Even you come to United States of America, which is supposed to be the greatest country upon the planet. United States of America is ranked number 17 we need to the standard of care. And the other country that ranked number one is Japan, Switzerland, France is good, and there are a few other countries. But can you imagine that United States come far below Japan, Switzerland, and France? And the Americans are smart. They even have what we call an American hospital in France, where most of the wealthy Americans they go. L'hôpital américain de Neuilly, in Neuilly. So, and one of my best friends, Dr. Perrier, he used to work, now he's old, and he used to be a chief surgeon at l'hôpital américain de Neuilly. And he used to live in Avenue Foch, number 65. And I used to rent my apartment when I was living in Paris. Avenue Foch, 65. That's where I used to live in Paris, not from the bush. So that's where he has it's a huge building, extremely wealthy guy. But wealth is not health. And we need to make the difference. A lot of people are confused about that. They are running for the wealth and they are killing people. They will kill even their mother, their husband, their parents to get wealth, not health. We choose to do it differently. We don't despise, we don't discard wealth because we know wealth. But all those things must go with the truth. And the reason I bring it this way is clearly tell me if you've been to any doctor when you sick to tell you that it's your mucus that is causing the problem, it's your microbiome that is challenged, it is your digestive system and your metabolic functions that are compromised, or your mesenchyme. There is nobody in whole Tobago that I've heard any doctor when they are sick and they go and they say, Doc, what's wrong with me? To bring up those key concepts. Guess what? We at KENOR International, we are in existence for the last 29 years. And I've been in the field myself for 45 years. And my rate of success is 95%. The 5% are for people that take the program and they are not compliant. When you take the program, you're compliant and you understand. Well, what we provide, we do not provide any medical treatment, but we provide what we call educational health protocol. I need our people in Tobago to understand that because they are not stupid people. What I love about it, and that's what I expressed when I came to Tobago 10 years ago, I realized that the people were well educated. They were well educated, but they don't have the appropriate information because people manipulate the truth a lot in the government, in the medical system, medical structure, in many administration, they manipulate the truth. And that's too bad. And that's why now this is the era where we come in a peak, in a stage where the truth prevails. And the truth is God. The truth prevails. So that's why I'm here, strong and powerful in God and in the truth. So we have 4 key concepts. If we acquire sufficient knowledge about the understanding and the structure what we call the semiology of those concepts, their semantic, their definition. You see, most of the time we use concepts, each concept refer to three variables or parameters. Each concept, if you have a concept, for example, the concept of love, the concept of love always goes with three parameters: definition, impression, connotation. As it comes to metabolic, microbiome, those concepts also suffer from the same, I would say, structuration. Let's put it this way. Now, if we talk about mucus, most of us, what do we know about mucus? If you can go and Google mucus, what you're going to find, and give you a definition that does not help you. How to define it? Sleep that serves as a protective barrier, a gastrointestinal, mainly of water, proteins, lipids, and proteins. It plays a crucial role in maintaining the gut health and facilitate communication between the host and its microbial inhabitants. Well, the definition take you not too far. You see, but if I talk about mucus, if I explain to you mucus, that's what is so important for us to understand that type of topic. All disease that we experience start in the gut, and in the gut we produce more than 85% of all the mucus that invade different organs of the body. The mucus that accumulates in your lungs when you get a cold, and each time you sneeze, you know, you flush your nose, you have mucus come out. Well, in right, you find lipoproteins, glycoproteins. I don't know if you know what that means. Lipoproteins are a protein combined with a fatty acid. Lipoproteins, that means lipids and protein. Glycoproteins are proteins combined with sugar, with a starch, saccharides. When you talk about a protein, glycose, sugar, glycoproteins, and you have other substance, mucus. What today, and that is going to be yours, and that you will have to improve your future. Each food that you eat trigger mucus secretions. So that's why if you Google it and you begin to study, you may be eating food that are responsible for a high secretion of mucus. And those are food that are acidic and mucus forming. And do you know that's how you make yourself sick? The mucus itself is a kind of defense mechanism. It's a system that your body uses to protect itself. Because in all food that you eat, no matter how excellent the fixing of the food is, no matter how high the temperature, the cooking temperature of the food is, you will still have bacteria in the food that are not sensitive to temperature, that will get into your system. And God is so generous. And that's why I said, when you know the truth, like I can tell you that it's power. The truth is power, and the truth is God. If somebody believes that you're going to lie to move forward, you dead meat. Because God is never in a hurry. He is not in a hurry. You don't change your diet. You keep eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. You keep eating McDonald's. You keep eating a lot of sweet. You keep eating late. You see, the time that you eat is important. What you eat is important. The combination of food is important because the combination can be responsible for a mucus formation, mucus forming process, the time that you choose to eat, because your body has its own schedule. If you don't respect that schedule, the food that you're going to eat will not be exposed to the gastric secretions that you need to break down the food. So when you don't break down the food that you eat late, it's partially broken down. And that partially broken down food is going to trigger a mucus proliferation, mucus forming, because the body will identify the partially broken particles coming from the food that you ate as foreign bodies. They are not food anymore. They are foreign entities because when you eat at 11 o'clock p.m., a lot of people, they have dinner, business dinner. A lot of people that are into parties, they are in business, they have a business dinner. So they begin to eat at 8 o'clock, and it's a business dinner, and they finish at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they go home. You see, sometimes they are drunk. You think the liver agree with that? Not at all. We have a lot of, I would say, cultural practices that affect directly our lifestyle. A lot of people, they go to a party and they spend their night drinking, eating, and they are partying. But the next morning when they wake up, they have hangover. So they they don't feel well, headaches. They can't have a breakfast, and they have to stay in bed for the day after because they eat too late, and the liver has been forced to address the food. Because when you put the food in the system, you give the order to the liver to process it. But the liver says, but it's not the right time for me. Between 11 o'clock in the night, when your food is coming, ready for that, I have to move the metabolic waste of the day. And the metabolic waste comes from many places. The metabolic waste comes from the food. So we're talking about the concept. Those concepts are intertwined into our lifestyle, into what we do, the food that we eat. We got all those things in action in our day. In one day, you have mucus taking place, of metabolic waste generated, and you have also your microbiome involved, and you have the mesenchyme involved. So mucus mesenchyme are busy all the time in your system. You don't realize that. But I'm trying to help you understand this is the way we kill ourselves. As a matter of fact, everybody that die, no matter if you become sick before you die, it's a suicide. It's a suicide because those things, you should team together with people that have the knowledge to discuss those things with them so that we can have a better quality of life. You die, everybody that die is a suicide. You can choose it consciously, or you can subconsciously choose to remain idle and not to give the appropriate priority to the knowledge that you need to get a good life. But the knowledge is there. It's you not to accept any type of charlatan, people that come pretend to know things and they don't know. A lot of medical doctors, if they don't develop To be a good medical doctor, you have to have a philosophy of your practice of medicine. Because when after you get your and if you get your system according to the Western medicine institution, it's not going to fly. And that's why a lot of doctors are killing people left and right. You see, a lot of doctors are killing people left and right. It's not, I'm not saying they are not helpful, but they are helping to a certain extent when it comes to emergency. But when it comes to those four, I'm asking you, be praying to know today the mucus, the microbiome, your mesenchyme, and the metabolic. Those are the foundation of your life. Your brain will function well when your digestive system is working well. Your digestive system will work well according to the concentration of mucus you have in your gut and according to the high level performance of your microbiome. That's why so those are the situation. And if you know anything, that's why we choose to discuss those concepts. Today is a kind of general introduction to those four concepts because we cannot embrace them all four in the short time that is given to us. But I'm introducing them to you. So I want you to know to give you a kind of global understanding of what you're doing to yourself. That's what I talk about suicide. We are killing ourselves. Ignorance, that's what God says. Ignorance of people know about mucus, but they think it's only the secretion from there. No, that secretion that comes from your nose, as we say, uh, is a secretion. Uh, in it, a colloidal secretion. Let's put it this way: you have lipoproteins, you have glycoproteins, and you have a lot of bacteria. Don't you see content, bacterial content, the infectious level of that mucus? It changes color. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's a kind of different color, and sometimes it smells also. You see, those are the different variation. What do you say?
No, I was
I,
gonna pop in and ask you about that. If, mucus and if inflammation, if they're the same things. And then I was also thinking about, sometimes, I've heard persons talk about different colors. I mean, even as a child, I remember in school, in primary school, I'm seeing children blowing their nose and it was so thick and green and it was just so strange. And I was like, what's going on? So tell
yes,
us
yes,
what's
yes.
what makes the color change, and tell us as well if inflammation and the mucus in the body is the same thing, or are they connected?
Absolutely. Well, the mucus is connected with inflammation in that sense that uh, any type of substance that you take and that trigger a reaction of your immune system, the first answer, there are two answers. You have proliferation of mucus and inflammation. Both of them have the purpose to slow down the spreading of that pathogenic agent that cause the aggression. So when the mucus is green, that means there is a kind of, you know, uh, let's say it makes sense. Huh? It makes sense. Let me explain. It's green because we have secretion of bile coming into the digestive system. And when you know that 85% of the mucus produced are found in the digestive system. And the bile that is green, the bile come also. So there will be, with the secretion of mucus, a kind of mixture interferences with the bile secretions. So the mucus will be green when you don't have a lot of bacteria, pathogenic bacteria that come in it. But it will be yellow like a pus and smelling bad when you have a lot of dead bacteria coming into that combined with the bile. See, between the yellow and the bile, they are not too far because any variation of yellow comes from the bile that is green. So the body is an artist too. It's combining colors. So, but the yellow is a clear indication of a high content of bacteria and infectious. So when don't you see when you're cold is very strong, the flu is the type of put out very thick most of the time is yellow and smelly. Okay, so you have that gradual progression. What's the connection with inflammation? As I said, inflammation seems to compensate to back up to a certain extent the secretion of uh, inflammation has the purpose to slow down the spreading of the pathogenic agent. Mucus has a purpose to spreading of this image. So inflammation and mucosation is to take. Those are a type of defense mechanism that the body use to protect and to slow down any proliferation of disease. Now, the risk is that if you keep eating food on a daily basis that cause those food, we call them acid forming, okay, and you have also food that are highly mucus forming. The reason I bring this today is to understand you need to be, your bacteria has a tendency to produce the mucus to protect itself. If there is any, don't you see sometimes that you are driving your car, you're on the road, and you lower your window, and there is a breeze coming in, and sometimes that breeze can be very nice, but sometimes it can be nasty because of the environment that you are, where you have a smell of dead body, animal decay, all those things coming through your window. You bring the window back up very quickly, but the smell remain into you. And automatically there is a reaction as if you want to spit out, or you have to do something because you feel that smell in your nose. Your body is going to have two reactions, mucus and inflammation, to slow down because you have airborne bacteria that come and that's what eat your 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 what you call it, the cells, the smelling cells. Let's put it this way, because and that will stimulate your taste bud immediately and your salivary glands to produce the mucus. So you see, let me tell you something. Your nose and your your maxillary gland that produces the salivary secretions, and your ears, all those organs are highly equipped to sort out things that your body wants. There are things that are bad smell. Your body doesn't want that. There are food that are no good taste. Your body doesn't want that. There are sound and words that that are coming, and your ears doesn't want that. Do you know that all those specific organs are equipped with a certain structural chemistry that make it possible for them to sort out all the signal they want or the signal they don't want? They, God equipped us for all those things. Or do you think those things take place by themselves? No, we have that come from directly from the food that we eat that provide us with the ATP, adenosphate, that give you the energy to do that kind of sorting out of signal that are vital for our system to perform well or detrimental to our system to decay. So all those things are interconnected. So that's why it's so important. And I realized me in my study, in my research, I said, you know what? if I want to help mankind, you need to refer to those concepts. And that's why my theory, it's me. Uh, I said, no, I cannot continue with the hospital standard procedures. The hospital standard procedures are not helping the patient, but if you interact with a patient and you let the patient understand that mucus proliferation and the microbiome performance and the accumulation of metabolic waste in the system and the Mesenchyme are the key element that need to be controlled to enjoy great health. I've seen that for the last 29 years that I've been doing, that I opened KENOR International to expose that type of theory. I've seen a lot of improvement. You see, I cannot say that covers everything. No, not at all. But hospital standard procedures refer to pathology, that means the mechanism of the disease, semiology, the study of signs and symptoms, and pharmacology. Pharmacology is iatrogenic. Pharmacology is iatrogenic in that sense that anytime, any drug that the doctor prescribed to you is going to treat a question of symptoms and also a lot of side effects. So this is not the best way to address the body. But when you take into consideration mesenchyme, microbiome, and metabolic waste, you do a better job. Now, very quickly, what I could say, let's talk very quickly about metabolic waste, because that is combined with mucus. When you eat a dead fish that is rotten, and you say, whoa, after I ate that fish, I become sick, and you call that food poisoning. And man, you begin to experience a stomachache, headaches, and sometimes the poisoning can be so serious that they have to rush you to emergency. You know what they're going to give you? They're going to give you charcoal, activated charcoal. Yes, the hospital is not going to give you something else. How can you neutralize a food that has been poisoning your tissue? It's going to give you activated charcoal. But if you had that information, that knowledge from the moment that you eat that food, and your body knows when you're getting a poison in food, and the best take activated charcoal. And this is to the inflammation there will be. And the third move is to take a lot of mucolytic substance, because when you eat that poison food, you produce a lot of mucus. So the mucolytic, that means a substance that is going to break down the mucus, because most of the time the mucus harden, and that hardening of the mucus can cause you to experience a lot of deficiency, nutritional deficiencies. Now let's reason, because I want you to be with me in that process. I'm not talking for talking. I want you to understand the process, why you make yourself sick, why you kill yourself. If you love that are mucus, okay, more mucus, that mucus, when there is too much of that mucus in your digestive system, it will to the lungs, it will go to your joints too. It will invade your lymphatic system. And what will happen in your lymphatic vessels, in your blood vessels? The same mucus is going to harden your digestive system. You see a lot of people with big belly. You say, well, this is fat. Only fat accumulated. You have a lot of dry mucus to an extent that the lumen, when you go to poop, you cannot poop anymore, because the lumen, that means the opening where the new food decay, new food waste, metabolic to pass. That lumen is a very limited, not enough opening for the feces to be that. So what we call dry mucus is going to obstruct the receptors of the digestive system. In your digestive system, you have what we call the villi. The villi, you have approximately four types of villi. One for the minerals, one type for the minerals, one type for the lipids, one type for the carbs, one type for the protein. You see, the body is well organized. But if you have a lot of mucus, those mucus will obstruct, cover those villi. And the villi, I would say, appendages to which you absorb your food and to get them in the bloodstream so that they can be carried to different organs that needs them. You need manganese, you need sodium, you need potassium, you need magnesium. But if your villi are obstructed, covered with dry mucus, the absorption level is reduced. So you have what we call malabsorption. The malabsorption can be a lack of nutrients. There are many factors that can cause that, accumulation of mucus, and also a deficiency in specific catalytic agent like you need magnesium, you need chromium, you need zinc. Those are catalytic agents that contribute to the absorption of certain nutrients. Many women that are pregnant and they cannot keep because they cannot absorb their manganese. So because too much mucus, or they have fibroids. So when those things happen, dry mucus, you end up with fibroids as well. Why all those complications take place? Because you are ignorant. And there is not one drug that is going to address that issue. So when you go to your doctor, everything, I'm going to my doctor, but the doctor he can do, how can he control the food that you're eating, that you like, that your mom and your dad has been giving you since you're born? And the milk that you drink. A lot of people are drinking cow's milk. This is the biggest mistake we make. The cow's milk is mucus forming. You do your smoothie with cow's milk. You use your cow's milk to do specific seasoning. You use that everywhere all the time. But that mixture is highly mucus forming. So you are killing yourself with your ignorance. And tell me where you can go to find that solution, please. Let me know. Where are you going to find that answer? Okay? So that's why Miss Chapman is doing a wonderful job. She support the idea. She does the best she can to bring to us that conversation on health. And I can tell you, if I love Tobago forever. I love Tobago. Tobagonian people are smart, intelligent. When they see the truth, they embrace it. I love that. But unfortunately, many people, they are not exposed to the right people. They are not exposed to the right information. But now, do you begin to understand that it's important for us to acquire a better knowledge of those parameters that control our health? What do you think, Natoya?
The more we know about ourselves, the better we're able to help ourselves, start living, as I said in the promo video, let's talk about living. What better way to talk about living with Dr. Bastien? I'm understanding that the foods that we eat and drink and the things we surround ourselves with, how it could make us better. But you know what concerns me, Dr. Bastien? For instance, you were talking about the milk. Even babies drink this milk. It's almost like society is created to just have first to have mucus, first to have inflammation, first to have diseases, first to be highly inflamed. What do you think about that? Because it's
This
from that early stage
exactly,
things are
uh,
starting to happen.
exactly, and even with the mother's milk, a lot of mother, because the create the proper environment for the mother emotionally. Because you see, when the mother is carrying the baby, it's the father and the mother that are pregnant. Both of them are pregnant. Because do you know that the child will not hear the voice of the mother, but will hear the voice? Ah, don't ask me how it's like that, but it's a fact. So the child, and also the child, carry blood of the father. Ha! So when you have a situation like that, so if somebody get married and doesn't have that intelligence and that knowledge, God is right when he says that my perish for lack of knowledge. We don't know the laws that govern our body. We should never give cow's milk to our children. And because God himself come to say that in Proverbs 27, verse 27, God himself recommend that the only milk humans should take is goat milk. Goat milk. Even he said it's even the milk that you should give to your maid servant in the house to protect if you care about your maid. And me, when I come to live in Tobago, I'm going to have a big field where with a lot of goat will be there to provide me with the milk that I need. Because a child that is fed with goat milk doesn't suffer with asthma. Goat milk is even better sometimes than the breast milk coming from the mother. Why? Because the husband can disturb the mother emotionally. And if the mother is carrying the baby alone and the father is not there with her to the pregnancy, well, the milk of the mother might become allergic to the child. And a lot of children become asthmatic because they've been fed with the milk of a sick mother. The mother can be physically well in appearance, but the milk, the chemistry of the milk is altered. So those are things that we need to pay attention to. So, and that same milk that is, I would say, altered will trigger asthmatic reaction. Asthmatic reaction, why? That means high proliferation of mucus. Asthma is when the lungs and the bronchioles are overwhelmingly affected secretions. And guess what? God is so good. Goat milk doesn't trigger acid forming. Goat milk doesn't give you mucus. And many children that cannot be breastfed, goat milk is the answer. It's not Ensure. There are people that have been taking Ensure thinking that they can give that to the baby. They end up with arthritis. They end up with inflammation. They end up with lymphatic congestion. Those are serious facts that we meet on a daily basis in our family, on a daily basis, that cause severe degenerative conditions that can affect the child later in the development. What do we do with the puberty of our children? What do we do with the infants, with the childhood? So we build the mechanism of defense. Do you know that the mother's milk is responsible for the formation of the innate immune system of the child? Well, the good news is that goat milk do the same. Goat milk does the same. So if you can breastfeed your child, make sure that you gave to that child goat milk. And that child will develop strong, powerful, as if he was a breastfed. Yes. All right. So your question is phenomenal. Inflammation triggers where you have lymphatic congestion and proliferation of mucus.
Yes,
Any additional
I'm hearing
question?
you. Yeah, I just was like, excellent. That's groundbreaking information, you know. I wanted to ask, I know we're coming closer to ending and wrapping up our conversations on health series for today. But what I wanted to ask, you know, sometimes, I mean, all the times, you know, when it is, for instance, like there are some persons or some wellness coach, they would say, okay, you can eat a well-fed chicken or a chicken that's grown in a, a natural environment or a grass-fed cow and stuff like that. And for instance, with the goats, it will be the same thing basically. Um, and if the goat is disturbed, if it's a stressed out goat, if you understand what I'm saying, if it's a stressed out goat,
uh,
yeah, how
it's
would
a,
that change the
I see the
dynamics of the
comparison.
production of the milk that this goat will produce?
Well, let me explain this. You cannot uh, raise the goat as you can raise the chicken. And because the goat is extremely independent and doesn't eat everything, you can try to domesticate the goat to a certain extent. And you see, the meat of the goat is different from the meat of the chicken. And what you can do with the chicken, you can manipulate the chicken to a large extent. You cannot do that with the goat. And the psyche of the goat is not the same psyche than the chicken. Now, what we know in the practice, the chicken industry make it possible to inject hormones to the chicken so that they can grow fast, growth hormones. They grow very fast, and a lot of antibiotics because when they grow fast like that, their immune system is weak and they are exposed to a lot of eh, intestinal infection, bacterial infection. So what they do, they overwhelm them with antibiotics. But the antibiotics they inject to the chicken, when you buy your chicken, you fix it at home, you get all that antibiotic in your system. And guess what? A lot of antibiotic will cause you to develop yeast proliferation and yeast infection. And yeast proliferation, yeast infection prepare you for cancer, any type of cancer. You can end up with hormonal dependent cancer. You can end up with sarcoma, carcinoma. You end up with all type of cancer because of the chicken. Now, that's not the same with the goat. The goat doesn't care about your injection. And don't you see, you can have a clear comparison. Go to any store that sell meat. It's not frequent that you find goat meat for sale because they cannot industrially produce the, the goat. It's much more easy to find chicken, fish, a lot of things, but find me goat meat. It's not possible. It's not lucrative. That's not good business to sell goat. You see, and when you go, you find goat meat. It's not something uh, that is very common. It's not easy. So that's why I said, me, when I come to Tobago, because I'm coming, trust me, we're coming with beautiful stuff for Tobago. Yes, and the whole world will come to Tobago. And uh, well, I've land aligned, waiting for my goats. Okay. So, and I have some friends extremely good when it agriculture, and they are willing to come back to Tobago and to establish, to produce the type of food that you can use for to feed yourself and at the same time to heal your disease. You see, there are a lot of beautiful things coming to Tobago. So I'm asking my people in Tobago to be patient, and we are coming to Tobago. And what is our wars in Tobago? And so the milk is very serious because a lot of children, a lot of adults that suffer from asthma, they could avoid, they could discard, they could prevent those type of condition by discarding the cow's milk. You can tell me almond milk, soy milk, those things are not good. What God recommend is goat milk. Proverbs 27 verse 27. What do you
Thank you
think?
so much, Doc. I am so excited for us to even talk about that milk. We could talk about milk in the next episode and expound on that. I'm seeing we have a question regarding the difference between cow's milk and goat milk. So we could start off the next program answering that question and heading into that. I know we have gotten to the time where we have to wrap up today's program. So thanks so much for those of you who joined us and would view this video again, right? So let me tell you, of course, you can connect with KENOR International Tobago at 482-3392. That's 482-3392 to get in contact with KENOR International to start your metabolic profile, right? And of course, Dr. Bastien would be the one who would assess that profile and you can start your wellness journey there. Let me also take this time to tell you about common foods with wonderful healing
Come on.
properties in Dr. Bastian's book. This is still available. Are you seeing it? Excellent. Common foods with wonderful healing properties, uh, written by Dr. Keny Bastien. It's an amazing book. One of my favorite books, of course, it's 495 TT dollars. You can contact the same KENOR International office to get in contact to get your very own copy. A lot of persons, even when I posted the video just now, they were like, it's December, people studying Christmas and stuff like that. But guys, listen, it's time for us to stop talking about New Year resolution when January starts. Start preparing yourself from now, the changes you want to make for your body, the changes you want to make for your family. If it is you save that money that you're going to probably buy all those things that are really not good for you, and say, okay, I'm going to have a healthier Christmas or a healthier December and really take care of yourself, you would see good things for yourself and your family when the new year turns over. All right, that's a recommendation here. What do you say about that, Dr. Bastien?
That's exactly what it should be because people wait January, December to make new resolution. But your life is asking, your body is asking for life, a better life on a daily basis. So the quality of your life has a lot to do with what you eat and the discipline. You need to have a better knowledge of your personality and your body functions. So that's why we come up today with mucus, microbiome, mesenchyme, metabolic waste. And what you eat, that's what trigger the metabolic waste. And your mesenchyme, that's what keep you young. That your mesenchyme is the reservoir of your stem cells. You see, everybody's talking about stem cells. He's talking about, but God already put all the stem cells that you need to keep young, to look young. I'm not going to tell you my age, but I promise you, before 2026, 2026, I will look much younger than the way I look now because I'm putting in application the secrets of the mesenchyme. And a lot of people, according to my age, they said, come on, aging fast enough, man. I said, no, 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 because I'm paying attention to what the mesenchyme tells me to do. You see, and the way I feel in my body, I feel like 18, 20. My strength, I love life because God bring to me that level of knowledge that make it possible for me to enjoy every moment of life. You see, but for that, to feel a man, you need to eat good food. You see, it's not a lot of people say, well, I'm too old for this, I'm too old for that. It's a lie. It's your ignorance that is putting you in that pot. And that's why Natoya and I, we came up with conversation on health. That's your program. So tell your friends. And always, if you need question, you need to call me. You need to ask some question. You can call me at 407-765-5075. So that's my take on it, Natoya.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Bastien. And I would close off by saying this: be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's it. That's basically the truth of the whole matter. All right, join us next Wednesday for another conversations on health. Remember to comment, to like, to share. This is an open space. So if you don't understand something, just let us know. But ultimately, share this link and invite your friends and your family. All right. Wishing you a happy December. See you next week.